So I really expected that the next time I'd make an update on Rekieta, it would be something about his body cam footage or an innocent plea, something to that effect, right? But come Tuesday, the day we're all waiting for, the hearing comes and goes, and we don't really get any updates. And it turns out it's because it's been delayed all the way until December 17th. And at first when I found this out, I was like many others, pretty upset. I thought, Nick Rekieta, here he goes again, taking the content away from us, our beloved content. Though, as the day started to unfold, I think a lot of people began to realize that it wasn't as simple as just another Rekieta W. So, I guess the best way to go over this is chronologically, step by step, like the rest of us, right? So the day started out with people waiting for the hearing and posting updates as it got closer and closer to the final moment, and everyone sort of sat around with bated breath, kind of waiting to see what he would do. However, while all of this is still going on, Rekieta himself is still on YouTube, going into people's chats and commenting about this, and still mentioning cocaine as well, which is pretty insane considering he's, about to plea regarding this. So, at the same time, he was also saying that what he was about to do was anathema to him, and that he had to do it for his children. So it sort of led everyone to believe that, he's gonna plead guilty. This guy's ready to just take the L for his kids so that he can actually, avoid jail time and be there for his family, theoretically. At least that's what he says. Now, while everyone was waiting for the official announcement and to see what was going to happen online, there were people who were physically in the courtroom who were taking notes and documenting what was happening. And it gave some weird insight into the situation going on between the three of them. Apparently, April was very warm to Nick, but at the same time, it looked like she'd been crying all day. Both of the two girls seemed to be kind of cold with each other. There's like a clear tension in the room. So it seems really awkward. And, Nick looks reddish and he keeps sighing loudly and, staring at the ceiling, looking for those ceiling cats. The interesting thing, too, though, is that Kayla's got this death grip on her car keys, and everyone seems to be just, really tense, too. Annoyed and tense, but also, sad from April's point of view. So everyone was kind of confused when they, read these notes, especially considering that it all got resolved in the back end, and that, what ends up happening is it just gets delayed. So everyone's trying to figure out what ended up happening. They're all just standing around, no one really says or does anything, and then they just get dismissed and told to come back another day. And, well, like I said in the beginning, initially people just thought, oh, great, Rekieta's done it again. He's taking away our content. And it certainly seemed that way, especially when he was going on Twitter, posting things about, I guess no one really knew what was actually happening. Today is a good day, all this stuff. But realistically, I myself, much like BVN, also believe that this could just be him trying to signal something just to get people to get off his back or to put out a fake W. I don't think standing in a courthouse trying to testify for your innocence, regardless, is a W. But, that's just me. There was speculation that he may have just refused the deal outright, and that's why things were getting pushed back. They basically just told him, you know what? Why don't you think this one over for a little bit, right? Why don't you think this over? And that seems to still be the prevailing theory. Now, again, this is just a theory, but there's some rumors that the reason all of this has been delayed is more so because of the guilty plea that he was going to accept. The theory is that the state offered to drop the child neglect charges in exchange, however, for a no contact order with April, who's also involved in this case. Now, that should be an obvious thing, right? Especially in a court case like this. But it gets a little interesting when you realize the Polycule, weird throuple situation going on with them. Because April is already to the point where she's becoming this jilted lover character, right? It's not unlikely that Rekieta has to drop her in order to avoid jail time and to keep face for being a father, right? However, if he does so, it could really, really rub, and it probably will, really, really rub April the wrong way, especially if he picks Kayla over her. And, reasonably he will and should. I mean, it's the mother of his children, right? Like, you shouldn't have done this to begin with, to be honest, but if you're in this situation, you should probably make the right choice and try and keep your family together as best as you can, assuming you still can. But if April gets jilted and angry with Nick about this, she could also still screw over Nick. I mean, she's got a lot of information. I mean, she's one of the 4 people that was in this Polycule, right? She could release DMs. She could go over and just do interviews with the Kino Casino and just dump everything on Nick. And it's highly plausible that she would, especially if she's been told that she can't live with Nick anymore, because Nick is the only resource for her income. And Nick is the only way she gets paid. It's the only form of her income at all. And living in that house for free. But beyond all of that, though, there's an even bigger component to this. Because there's also been others who have thought that, oh, well, even if Nick pleads guilty with the way Minnesota works and their state laws, they could easily still deny us the body cam as a matter of like public material, right? They could just go, oh, well, this isn't part of an open public case. It's already been resolved behind closed doors. We're sealing this and no one needs to see it, right? Because also none of the parties have consented to release it, of course. But if April gets jilted by Nick, especially if he has to ditch her because of this, it would make a lot of sense that she would release the body cam footage and like accept it to be released. Especially when you have people like Josh Moon petitioning for it to be released. I mean, he even paid... Okay, well, first, what's even better is just mainstream news covering this. But he even paid the $7,000, which was crowdfunded within 3 hours, to get the body cam footage up. He's willing to put down money for this, and so is the whole community to find out what's actually going on behind closed doors. And April has been told that she'll be paid to consent to release the body cam footage. That's like her only paycheck she's gonna get, really. She's what? She has no work experience that I'm aware of, at least no valuable work experience. She can't just go out and get a well-paying job right off the gate. She's pretty much beholden to Rekieta and all this stuff going on with him. That's why she lives in his spare house. If she's given no other option and she's kicked out, it makes a lot of sense to me that she would go to Josh Moon and go, hey, I'll do that interview with you and I'll actually consent to have the body cam footage released if you pay me, because I need to eat. I need to be able to pay for, a house, pay for rent, right? But, again, this is all speculation, right? No one knows for sure whether or not he's actually been told that he has to leave April, or that all of this is just a guess. But it makes a lot of sense given the information that we've seen. It all kind of lines up, and it really does put Nick Rekieta, it puts him in a really difficult situation, between a rock and a hard place, so to speak. Because, okay, you plead guilty and you don't go to jail. That's great. But now at the same time, you've got to kick out your friend, your quote unquote friend, but they'll turn around and felt you too. They could easily release the body cam footage and then make profit off you and probably become even more successful than you at this point. I mean, really? Or you still plead innocent and then you actually face going to jail. I mean, either way, you're still getting destroyed. And I guess that kind of means that we're really back to square one here. It seems that the body cam footage is coming out, and he's going to have to plead guilty or innocent. I hope, for our sakes and for the sake of the content, he pleads innocent. But I don't think Nick Rekieta is that dumb. I mean, I know he's an idiot, at least nowadays, particularly, but I don't see him being that dumb. But, I could be proven wrong, right? I could be proven wrong. He could stand by April's side and just say, you know what? I love you. We're going to fight this one together. We're taking on the state. We're going to beat Minnesota. We're taking it to the Supreme Court. And eventually, we're going to have everyone under our thumb. And it's going to be a world of polycules, a world of baldos, and mountains of blow. I'll still be watching this. I'll still be keeping track of it. So if you want to watch along with it, I recommend you giving BBN a follow, and hey, subscribe as well. I'll try and make as many updates as I can on these when some actual important stuff comes out. But I still plan on making other videos, gaming related stuff here and there, and whatever I feel like, really. But if you like the video, give it a like, subscribe if you enjoyed and want to see more. And I really hope to see some sort of plea here soon, because I really am very, very interested in this.